capitalism is incapable of solving the problems it's created. Left to their own devices, bosses will continue to extract profits, exploit workers, lobby governments to halt change, and argue that our demands are radical, unreasonable, unworkable. Do not believe corporations when they say little individual lifestyle changes are good enough. Even with global lockdowns, emissions in 2020 were only 7% less than 2019. Only the structural, systemic change can save workers here and those in the global south and climate refugees who will be disproportionately affected. We must cancel the debt of low-income countries so that they can fund their just transitions. And a just transition does not mean leaving workers behind, but putting our class front and centre with retraining and funding to put skills and experience to best use in socially useful work. Born in Middlesbrough, raised in the North East, I saw these long-term effects of Thatcherite deindustrialisation. Conference, vote for Composite 1 for a Socialist Green New Deal.
And we'll build an economy that will be based on collectivism, on universalism, and on equality.
Comrades, we stand at the crossroads between socialism and barbarism. Comrades,
capitalism has failed. It has failed both the climate and us.
I am 16 years old. I am sick and tired of missing school for climate strikes. I am sick and tired of the Tories.
Capitalism, comrades, capitalism is killing the planet. It's 2021 and no progressive party, no socialist party should be supporting fossil fuels at all. We need a radical, internationalist, socialist Green New Deal, not a watered down motion in favour of delay. That will do nothing for workers at all. And we will pay for it by taxing the rich. And yes, Rachel Reeves, there is a money tree. It's called the top 1%. So let's tax them. It's a forest. It is a forest. We will tax them and we will save this planet. And it can be done and we will do it. Solidarity, comrades. Solidarity.
4 years on, all we have is a weak and watered-down online safety bill, while those platforms host growing levels of child abuse, self-harm and suicide content, anti-vax misinformation, discrimination, hate speech and more. I see no contradiction in us also promoting home ownership. Not for more landlords or second homes, but for ordinary working people.
Comrades.
I am going to use, 1 second before everyone puts their hands up, I am going to use this opportunity to ask for more speakers, but before anyone puts their hands up, I am aware, sitting here, one, it is very difficult to see all of you, there are very bright lights which you can't really see when you sat down there, and two, the people putting their hands up do not reflect the diversity of the people in this hall, and that is very clear to me. I am afraid, and I'm not speaking from a position of particular strength here, there are too many white men putting their hands up. I am not anti-white men. Some of my favourite people, my dad's a white man. But I do not want white men to exclusively dominate this or any other debate at this conference, and following on from my comrade in the chair this morning, I do wish to see the diversity of the whole reflected. I'm not putting anybody on the spot here, but if you want to speak, do not be afraid to put your hand up. We want to hear from you. This is an inclusive conference. Hands up now, please, bearing that in mind. Thank you.
I don't see why we have billionaires planning to live on the moon when people don't even have somewhere to sleep.
Frankly, this motion doesn't actually go far enough. We need to take back housing stock from the establishment. It's immoral that so few own so much. We need rent caps. We need radical socialist policies, and we need a planned economy.
Conference, the homeless crisis is shocking. The homeless crisis on black, brown and minority communities is even more shocking. 11% of homeless people
applying for help are black, brown minorities, despite only making up 3% of households. Applications from Asians accounted for 6% of homeless applications, yet only make up 8.1% of the population. The inequality and the systematic racism within the homeless system must be addressed.
Good afternoon, comrades.
We as a party who have been found to have unlawfully discriminated against and harassed Jews. I should also at conference, we are going to conduct this debate, this serious debate, in the way it was intended. I will not accept heckling, booing, or any other attempts to hassle myself or any other person speaking from this platform now or at any other time for the rest of this session. Comrade Lee.
I want to speak to those of you who are maybe undecided about how you're going to vote on this issue today and the rule changes proposed. I am aware that some of you are a lost cause. But for those of you who are undecided, ponder this, conference. What message will go out from conference this day?
We are now looking once again for another round of speakers. I'd like to remind conference what I said earlier about trying to ensure that we reflect the diversity of the hall.
Yesterday, sitting there, when anti-Semitism was mentioned, there were people around me who were laughing. Is this a conference that has resolved to deal with the problem of anti-Semitism?
Just after the last Brighton conference, there was a discussion about Holocaust denial. I explained the hurt that I felt as someone whose grandparents were murdered in Auschwitz. I was advised by a comrade that I should check out Norman Finkelstein on YouTube for assistance on how I felt about being a second-generation Holocaust survivor.
Comrades. I am trying to gender balance this conference, but this debate appears to have a large number of men wishing to speak. Yes, this delegate here, thank you.
And in 2020, we would have been faced with a very simple choice. Keir Starmer or Keir Starmer. Now, however we voted in that election, can we really say that the debate would have been stronger had we not heard the voices of Emily Thornberry, Rebecca Long-Bailey or Lisa Nandy? And there's something those three names have in common. They're all women. In fact, can you guess how many women have had 20% of MPs in the last 40 years? Just one. And how many black candidates? 0. If we vote for card vote 19, our debate will be paler, maler and staler. Our movement will be weaker.
Comrades, if this rule change had been in place for the last 100 years, 120 years of our party, only one woman would have made it onto the members' ballot for leader and absolutely 0 BAME MPs. This is completely unacceptable for a party that claims to care about equalities and is not addressed anyway in the rule change before us today. If this rule change had been in place in 2020, candidates like Lisa Nandy, Rebecca Long-Bailey would not have been on the ballot paper. And as previous delegates have said, it would have been a contest between Keir Starmer and Keir Starmer.
Comrades.
Take a knee. Reclaim the streets. How does a selection process that throws up one white man...
Final point, please.
Nearly finished. Leave us as a community.
And I want us to be the party of equality for all. For Jewish people, for Muslim people, for young people, old people, non-binary people, bisexual people. Power to everyone.
The Parliamentary Labour Party, for the first time ever, is over 50% women. And it is the most diverse it has ever been when it comes to black, Asian and ethnic minority members of Parliament. Now, look at my face, look at every female member of Parliament for the Labour Party, look at every single black, Asian and ethnic minority Labour member of Parliament. The idea that we stand quietly by and deliver you a future contest that is pale, male and stale, you're having a laugh. It ain't going to happen, folks.